This is a just a complete theory, but something that I think Madden should add in is a hype system for drafting. Now, something I want to mention that I haven't really thought this through too much. It's just something that kind of popped up in my head, and it's probably better than anything Madden has. I think that this way of drafting players is a lot better than what they have going on right now. Right now, they are kind of working on their draft classes a little bit, but it's not really on the level to where it needs to be. You get what I'm saying? It's like they like added like something where they could the players walk up to the podium, bro. No one cares, bro. Add good players, okay? Something they've done is they've added a lot of faces. Okay, now get the sizes right, get get the sizes, the weight right, the height right, get a solid amount of diversity racially. I don't want to see white quarterback Deshaun Manningham 5'11", 190 pounds in the first round, first overall pick 5 years in a row like they used to. Okay, like I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just being honest. Like that shit used to fucking irk me and shit. But this style of drafting I think would really evolve the game. Something that franchise players make the mistake of doing is when they look at the game, they think, huh, you know, I don't want 90 overall players in the draft, and which this doesn't make any sense because in real life we have 90 overall players that come out the draft like every year. Okay, and if you don't believe me, I could name some. Like for example, Jamar Chase, was he an 80 overall when he got drafted? No, he fucking maybe it took him like literally to like week 1 to find his mojo in a preseason, but he was a 90 overall the whole season. It wasn't like, oh, he was an 80 overall and he slowly climbed up, and by week 16 he was a 90 overall. Bro, he was a firm 90 overall by the time he was drafted. Odell Beckham Jr., he literally averaged 100 yards per game. Some NFL seasons, bro, he could lead the league in yards, okay, with that kind of average. He averaged that for 14 games. He was a firm, you could argue he's a firm 99 overall, bro. Like, you could argue that. I'm not going to say he was. I'd say he was a 98 personally. He was a 98 overall his rookie season, but they wouldn't give that to him. So this is the thing about those two players, right? And again, I want to mention there are other examples: Randy Moss, Aaron Donald. I could go on and on and on. And the thing about Madden is they don't have these examples. They don't have the most. You might find like an 85 or 86 overall player in the first two picks, and then that's it. Everyone else is 80 and 70, which doesn't fucking make sense. It's kind of almost stupid. It's like, dude, let me at least get a chance to get someone crazy good, right? And if I can't get someone crazy good, let me find someone who fits my defense, fits my scheme, or maybe has something cool, like he's a good ass kick returner. Players that are interesting. Oh look, this guy's like 6'8". Like let me get him. Like players that are interesting. That's the biggest thing, is having players that are interesting. And a good way to do that is have players who are high overall. Don't just put in a bunch of bums and scrubs. Like, give me players that might actually have a chance to impact my team and make the team better, not players that my team has to make better. You see what I'm saying? Um, yeah, because if we have like players, like for example, like if we have who am I thinking of? Like say you pull up to the draft, right? And they're in the first round, like there's multiple players of your interest. Like maybe there's like a corner that runs like a 4-4. He was a high draft pick. He has good coverage though. Maybe that's 4-4 isn't exactly 4-2 speed, but if he has elite coverage, you could plug him in immediately. You see what I'm saying? Guys like that are guys where it's like, you might find a Calvin Johnson every now and then, a 6'6" guy that runs like a 4-3. You know what I'm saying? Like, man just kind of lacks these players, and there should be players like this at every single position. You see what I'm saying? Every single position. And and you might say, oh well, what if they overload us? You might say, what if they overload us, bro? If they overload us, that's better than not being loaded at all. And two, I'm not telling them to overload us. I'm telling them to fucking get it right. Do the research. How many? What percentage of NFL rookies make immediate impacts? Oh, you can't find that. Like, actually look it up. Actually look at the players though. How many of these guys made the Pro Bowl? How many of these guys are all pro? How many of these guys are all rookie team or whatever? Like, how many of these guys got team awards? Like, they don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why their game sucks. Like, they don't do that shit. Um, a big thing about the draft too is that, like, players are often undervalued, and